Welcome to Hut Culture, the Living Hut, a podcast project developed within the Tourism Eco-Management course at the University of Turin. In this series, students explore mountain huts not simply as tourist facilities, but as a living socio-ecological system, places where hospitality, sustainability, culture, and environmental limits all meet. Today, we are joined by the creator of the project, Professor Riccardo Beltramo. Professor, thank you for being here.
Thank you, it's a pleasure.
Before we talk about huts themselves, let's start from the project. What is hut culture, the living hut?
The project was born from a simple idea. Mountain huts are small places, but they concentrate many of the big questions of sustainable tourism. Energy management, water management, accessibility, hospitality, climate adaptation, relations between visitors and local territories. So instead of teaching these themes only theoretically, we wanted students to explore them through real cases.
So the students are not only studying sustainability, they are actually documenting it.
Exactly. Each student team works on research, interviews, field observation, and communication. The goal is to produce evidence-based podcast episodes focused on mountain huts as living systems. And at the same time, students learn how to work with sources, stakeholders, and public communication responsibly.
And why mountain huts specifically?
Because huts are fascinating thresholds. They are not fully wild places, but not urban places either. They exist in a delicate balance between protection and exposure. And that balance tells us a lot about how we inhabit mountain environment today.
That brings us to the central question of the first episode. What actually makes a mountain hut a hut?
That may sound obvious, but today it's an important question. Because a hut is not simply a building in the mountains. It's a cultural gesture. When people enter a hut, they immediately expect something: protection, simplicity, care. Your attire may be cold or wet, and somehow your rhythm changes. You slow down, you share space differently, you become more aware of limits, your own and the mountains.
So a hut is not just about hospitality.
Exactly. A hotel gives you comfort. A hut gives you a relationship with the environment, with other people, and with yourself. And today, that relationship is becoming more fragile.
Why fragile?
Because over recent decades, the idea of the hut has expanded a lot. Many mountain structures now offer more comfort, easier access, and services similar to those you find in the valley. And adaptation is normal, of course. But at a certain point, we need to ask a cultural question. If everything becomes a hut, then what makes a hut unique? This is not about judging anyone. It's about understanding identity.
The project also talks about sustainability, but not in a generic way.
No, sustainability in mountain huts is very concrete. Water is limited, energy is limited, transport is difficult, waste management is complicated. A hut makes limits visible, and because resources are limited, people learn to share space and resource differently. That's why huts are so interesting from the perspective of sustainable tourism.
So the visitor is not simply consuming a service.
Exactly. The visitor becomes part of the balance of the place. And this is very important today because tourism often risks consuming places instead of inhabiting them responsibly.
And why did you choose a podcast format for this project?
Because podcast allows a slower kind of attention. Today, many mountain experiences are consumed quickly. Photos, short videos, instant impressions. But huts are about rhythm, pauses, transition. A podcast creates space for reflection. It allows complexity without rushing.
And the students are directly involved in producing every episode?
Oh yes. Each team develops its own evidence-based deep dive on a specific mountain hut. Students conduct research, prepare interviews, collect observation, and transform that material into public communication. So the project is also practical training. Students learn stakeholder engagement, source verification, and ethical communication, all through real fieldwork.
Last question. What do you hope listeners will take away from this project?
I hope people begin to recognize when a hut is truly alive. Not perfect, not luxurious, alive. A place that still creates a meaningful relationship between people, limits, and landscape.
Professor Riccardo Beltramo, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you, and thank you for crossing the threshold with us.